Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you are at Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live at 6:40 in the morning on a Saturday, October 9th, 2021. And it is, yeah, I already said the date. Yeah, yeah, the more I do this, I kind of get on robot mode, and I try not to be, make every single episode a little different. And I'm broadcasting live from Leander, Texas on float.app. That's FLOTE.app. It's a new social media that is censorship resistant, and they have Bitcoin capability. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And their live streaming feature works very well. I mean, I've been using Theta, but Theta's been causing me issues. I've used YouTube, and I don't like to use the big bad centralized censorship monsters. So I try to not use YouTube if possible, although I do upload this video later to YouTube. And YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute is where you can find these videos. Give it a thumbs up. It just kind of helps support what I do, and maybe gives me kind of an attaboy every day. Because I do this every single day. Every single day I jump online in the morning and I talk about something new I've learned. It's part of my discipline. So this is not some kind of news show, and it's not me trying to give instructionals. And I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not trying to shill anything. And I'm not trying to be the next YouTuber so you can smash that like button. No, I'm not trying to be that guy. I just, this is a way for me to keep myself accountable, to learn something new. I'm highly interested in the broadcasting and video and audio space. I want to eventually become some kind of podcast producer in a way. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while with what I've been doing with Bankless DAO. Yeah, this is me developing myself, and every single day we got to learn something new. And if you don't, and you remain stagnant, then atrophy sits in, and yeah, or whatever that. Yeah, I don't know. And you just start withering away mentally, spiritually, and physically. And I'm trying not to do that. And this is me kind of trying to articulate concepts or things that I learned the day before and from articles I've read and stuff like that. So, and I've been doing it every single day since February 6, 2021. And then before that, I started this whole show off on October 24th, 2020. So it's almost coming up on a year now. On episode, 290? Episode number 290. And this doesn't include some random episodes I've made here and there. I did a few at lunchtime, at my work from my laptop. Wherever I've been, at a hotel or whatever, I popped open my laptop. There's been a couple I haven't been able to publish, or that I've tried to publish, but like I've had something wrong with it, like the audio was off, or the microphone quality was bad, or the video wasn't working, or something like that, or the internet connection dropped on me halfway through. So I mean, either way, I've tried something every single day, and it's been like a process, a trial and error. And I was describing this to an online friend yesterday about what I'm doing, and it's like, I think about skate parks. Like, I'm a skateboarder, right? And I think about these DIY concrete skate park spots, like Burnside in Portland that was built underneath of a bridge, and same thing with Parasite Park in New Orleans, and then thousands of other concrete spots all around the world. There's one in Atlanta that the city's trying to tear down. And people just start building, and it may just look terrible at first, it's just kind of spackle some quickcrete, over a log, and then make a little, quarter pipe out of it, a little hump or something you can ollie over, or something you can grind on. And then it just, skaters, everybody, yeah, let's go meet at the spot. There was one in Williamsburg, Brooklyn for the longest time, right over there by the water. It was just some foundation from some building that had previously been there, and people just started building little bits and stuff on there, and it became a spot. And then so skaters meet at that spot, and then people will start building stuff and bringing stuff there, and then it becomes like a hangout. And then like you get people that become really good at working with concrete and building stuff, and they start building some really cool spots, and there was one here in Austin on a concrete slab called the Alien Pod, and that was really fun to skate. But my point being is there's a lot of creativity And what starts off as something that's really crappy ends up being really cool. And some of these parks, like Burnside in Portland, Oregon, and Parasite Park in New Orleans, they become sanctioned by the city eventually. They become accepted. And they are really creative, really fun to skate. And that's kind of what the philosophy I'm trying to bring into this and then into this podcast is. Yes, it started out completely crappy, and it might still be crappy in a lot of ways, but I'm just slowly kind of just creating it as my spot, my DIY spot. And then the longer I do this, the more I can fine tune things here and there. I've brought guests in who've brought their perspectives and opinions, and I've had some help and guidance from people in the Bankless Style and other places that have helped me with my audio, with my visual quality, with a bunch of stuff. I've added little DIY graphics like these daily paintings that I put up there. I make those paintings with my kids. I have the paintings sitting here behind me. Yeah, here's the real deal Saturday painting, right? And it's just fun. It's all just a result and a process of fun, and that's what it should be when you create something. So I'm not creating this for profit. And I really can't emphasize enough how much you should do something like that. That's maybe not exactly what I'm doing or whatever, but just like something like this that drives you as well, that can kind of show who you are and your personality and the things that you like and your unique way to do it. Because like I said about the skate parks, there's no one, there's no DIY skate spot that is exactly like some other. They're all extremely unique, and each time you roll up to a new one, you have to learn how that one works. And the people that are there, they have ownership of it, man. You got to respect the locals. You don't trash your spot. You don't leave your trash, and and everybody will generally be cool. As long as you respect the locals. So anyway, that's my little rant about like self creativity and creating something by yourself. And this has led to some really cool opportunities. It gives me something to show people, what I'm interested in and what I can do and stuff like that. So anyway, let's move on. CoinGecko. All right. CoinGecko is sitting at $54,964.65. So that's, boy, did I say CoinGecko sitting there? Bitcoin's sitting there. So it's kind of found a little happy spot, I think, for a second. And so did Ethereum at 3,600. Hey, man, I'll take it. Cardano, $2.27. Tether sitting right at 99 cents. 99 cents. You'd think is on sale. All right. And Binance Coin, 423.22. XRP, $1.11. Solana, 158.98. Polkadot, 34.73. USDC, another stable coin, and it's sitting at $1. The Dage, 24 cents, 0.247774. Terra, 43.36. Good. Terra punched its way up. Well, not quite. It still needs to punch its way up above Doge. And then Shiba Inu punched its way up above Avalanche. Oh, God, it's driving me nuts, this meme coin stuff. It's just a recipe for disaster. It's an invitation for regulators to come in and say, hey, this is not right, this is not good, we're out to protect the common man. Yeah. Sure, okay, it's just an excuse to bring in that regulation. Avalanche 6103, Uniswap 2539, Binance stablecoin 99 cents, again on sale for 99 cents. Chainlink 2712. All right, so okay, I think that's good. Let me just check my daily check and see where Quant is 302.03. Okay, so sitting above 300 there. Theta Network at 657. Let's see where Monero is. 279.04. Good. Cosmos 35.68. That's down a little bit. Polygon Matic up 6.7% over the 7 days at $1.35. Filecoin 79.38. Let's see what else we got here that stands out to me. 311.21 for Aave, and Kusama 348.68. Okay, there's something that I follow. Let's see. Proof of GitHub on this Twitter right here. This is a good one to follow. If you evaluate your investments and you try to judge your investments on developer activity, on the work that is being done with it, because you don't want just some kind of zombie dead coin, you know, and you're being like, oh, I've heard good things about it, but then when it actually comes down to the brass tacks, you know, like are they actually working on it? This is a good indicator here. So Proof of GitHub is a Twitter account that says right here, I am designed to keep you up to date with GitHub metrics on the top cryptocurrency in the space. For a list of possible commands, tweet the following. Okay, all right. Proof of GitHub commands. A reply will appear, then a list of possibilities. Okay. All right. So this is a way to keep track of the activity of certain projects. And if you don't know what GitHub is basically a project, aka code, a /code repository, a centralized place of work, not centralized, but it's a central place of work where people working on projects can all share code and upload their code. A lot of coders and developers use GitHub kind of as their resume to show potential employers the proof that they can code and their projects up there. So, you know, if they're applying for some, you know, developer position, then they say, well, here's a link to my GitHub. You can see the projects I've worked on. There's the code up there. And yeah, so anybody that knows code can go in there and look at it and be like, okay, yeah, this person knows their stuff, you know. So that's GitHub for you. And it's really important in that world. So you can see here, let's go back to this thread. I didn't mean to click and expand that thread. Okay, so in this past week, Kusama has had the #1 activity. And the week before that, Kusama had #1 activity. So this is over throughout the whole week. Okay, so each day or every other day or something, they kind of do a little measurement. So it looks like every 2 days. So Ethereum and Kusama, Polkadot, and then a weekly activity, Kusama, Polkadot, and Cardano have had the most activity. Ethereum is down to #5, Solana #6, Solana's #5, Gnosis is #4. Gnosis has been around for a while. That's OG stuff. Okay, so the monthly activity, Kusama got the #1 spot for the most GitHub development activity. And then Polkadot next, and it looks like it's new. It moved on up. And Cardano #3 with Ethereum #4, Solana #5. No, Gnosis #5, Solana #6, Flow, which is the other NFT platform, which is doing very well, I think, and because they're in with Top Shots and all that stuff. Because Ethereum's kind of expensive, Flow is kind of a scaled up, cheaper way to do it, and they're also doing amazing things with a lot of sports teams and talent agencies and stuff like that. And then Status, I don't know Status, then Chainlink and Near Protocol. Okay, it's good to see some activity on Chainlink. So that was this month for September, I believe. So let's go on down, and I want to see in August what the activity was for September. Where you at? Where'd you go? Well, shoot, I don't see the September one. I don't know. I'd have to dig through further, but let's see on September 31st, daily development, weekly development, Cardano, Flow, Kusama. I mean, it looks like Cardano and Kusama are pretty consistently at the top. Polkadot and Ethereum, of course. Origin Protocol got some daily activity spike in August 24th. Hedera Hashgraph back then, Ton Crystal, I don't know what that is. MDEX, yeah, interesting to see though. Just who's working on their projects and how often. And a lot of people criticize Cardano for not really delivering any type of products, but I gotta hand it to them. They're pretty consistent in the GitHub activity. So maybe if they, take some of that tinkering around and put it out there for everybody to see. I mean, I guess they just brought out smart contracts. Then there's the Sunday swap DEX. I don't know. I'd like to see Cardano build more stuff and actually make it out there and usable and available. Because one, yes, I still hold Cardano, but I have an NFT locked in my wallet, so it's stuck and I can't do anything with it. And so none of these wallets are seem to be really compatible with NFTs, and I'd like to see some wallet build outs, especially with Atomic Wallet where my Cardano's stuck. So come on, Cardano. All right. So anyway, that being said, Today, I'm just kind of sticking to basics. The past couple days, I kind of got into the weeds on some non-peg stable coins, central banks versus private banks, derivatives, liquidity pool token bonds, and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of wanted to create an easygoing Saturday today. I got a lot of home repair stuff I got to do. My life is going to shambles. No, not really, but yeah, I got a lot of stuff I got to catch up and do here, so I can't get into the weeds on some odd crypto thing. However, I do. I sit here and I criticize Shiba Inu, as a meme coin, and people just trying to get rich quick, and people always looking at number go up, and then I really am in it for the tech. I'm in it because I believe in Web3 technology. I believe in the advancement of the industry as a whole. I think this is a new opportunity. I mean, when the internet first came out in the early 90s, I was about like 18, 17, 18 years old, 18 to 21, and I remember I went to college a little later after kind of partying around for a couple of years. And in 1998, I opened up my first Yahoo account in the computer lab at the school I got in after I went through 3 different community colleges. Actually, I went to community college 5 times before I actually got into a 4-year university as a sophomore. So yeah. I ended up going through that 4-year university. I did really well, and then I went to graduate school, got a master's degree and everything like that. But I mean, it was a long road getting there, man. I partied pretty hard. All right, so so my point was I back then, if I would have known, and if it would have been available to be able to invest in Yahoo or Google stocks, I mean, or anything like that, Apple, Amazon, everybody said, if I would have known, I would have jumped, So this is your chance to be in the know on that, and back then the whole TCP/IP protocol, the www.http:// that tells that you plug into a website browser in the address bar at the top, not the Google search thing. I had to make that distinction yesterday with somebody. And if you had the ability for that to be tokenized, that TCP/IP address and the HTTP protocol and all that stuff, and you could own a piece of that, because apparently the person that invented the TCP/IP protocol just kind of gave away the technology. And I don't think he could have made billions of dollars off of that, and now he's just, I don't know what he does, but he's not rich, that's for sure. But the entire world runs on that protocol. Okay, so now, years later, we have the ability to plug in wallets into our browsers. And hold on, let me pull this up so you can see the MetaMask wallet. I mean, of course, a lot of people start right there. See that little fox icon? That's the MetaMask wallet. You have the Theta wallet, and you have the Zilliqa wallet. You got Cardano wallet, and I got a bunch of other wallets underneath there. The Math wallet, the Kepler wallet. I had a Waves wallet for a while. But yeah, there's all that. What it does is it ties cryptocurrency capability to any website, and it's important for Web3 development. It is the key to Web3 development, to be able to tie your finances and your money in a decentralized cash way. Well, people say, well, I already pay with my credit card through, Amazon or eBay and stuff like that. That's using money on the web. No, it's not, because all that information has to go to centralized servers. They own all your data. They track all your history. They have all that stuff. And if they don't keep your credit card information, then you have to enter it in every single time. Where with a decentralized wallet, you own the keys to that account. You own the keys to your crypto. A lot of these cryptocurrencies are non-fungible, which means it acts as digital cash. So if you make a transaction, yes, it's transparent and it's on the blockchain, and you can see it on Etherscan or whatever other blockchain explorer, because it's 100% transaction. But it's just It's just your address, unless somebody's memorized that long string of addresses. And then if you decide you want to go anonymous again, all you have to do is delete that wallet and create a new wallet. And yeah, it's pseudonymous is what it is. And you are able to own pieces of that technology by owning Ethereum, by owning Bitcoin, by owning any type of project's tokens. And then you're also able to participate in that in the NFT economy. So I'll go through a little article about Web3 and why it matters here. I think this is a pretty good summary of what I'm trying to say. But I don't invest in this stuff to try to make overnight profits. I invest in this stuff because I think about it as if I were to have invested in, Google way back then, or TCP/IP protocol if it were able to be invested in, and stuff like that. Yeah, and these are not stocks either. Don't get me wrong about that. Like Ethereum, for instance, the Ethereum token is not a stock. You don't own a share of Ethereum. It's gas. And people say, well, why do you need to have gas on? Why can't you just use it? Well, the gas prevents bots and scammers, and it prevents, not scammers, but it prevents bots, and it prevents automatic entities from overwhelming the system with DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service, and DOS attacks, denial of service. And basically that means just bots spamming a network so many times and hitting it up with requests so many times on forums or whatever that it overrides a system to where it crashes. And that's a problem, with the internet. So the gas is a way to make it difficult or impossible to do that, because it would cost so much money for somebody trying to overrun a system, because every time it would cost them gas in order to do that. And so that's kind of one of the utilitarian purposes of gas. All right, so let's go to this article over here, Why Web3 Matters. It's on future.a16z.com. A16z is like a VC, a venture capitalist company, and those are the people that look at projects and they decide whether or not they want to invest in them. It took me a while. I didn't know what a VC was for the longest time. I didn't come from that world. I went through lots of college, and I ended up going to seminary. For my master's degree, master's of divinity. Like they don't teach you about finance and master of divinity. So, and I wasn't trying to go run a church. I was trying to be Indiana Jones, I wanted to go into archaeology and biblical archaeology and stuff like that, because I think it's really fascinating. I love learning the ancient languages and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. So why Web3 matters. Web 1, roughly 1990 to 2005. So 1990, I was probably about 15 years old. Okay, so I'm dating myself. I'm 45 years old. I'll just come out and say it. All right, who cares? So it was about open protocols that were decentralized and community governed. Most of the value accrued to the edges of the network users and builders. And one way to keep ahead of regulation and the best way for somebody like me, some middle class working schlep guy, who wasn't born into tons of money and all that stuff, to be able to advance in society is through technology. And that is this edge of innovation is where the transfer from different social classes happen. People that don't keep up with it eventually end up sliding out, and then people that do keep up with innovation and tech, it's their entry route into it, to avoid the front door of nepotism. You talk about a club and going in the front door. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Camilo Echeverri from MGH DAO. I read some article and he talked about, one of his tweets, and it talked about nepotism and inheritance and the establishment. They go through the front door. Well, as a common person, you're not going to get through that front door. You're going to be standing in that long line of all these goofy looking people in their chrome shirts trying to get in this Miami club, and you're never going to get in probably, and you spend most of the night out there looking like a schmo. But you can get in through the back door if you run the tech, so if you're the DJ, if you're running the lights, and stuff like that, you can get in through the back door, and then you find yourself right where you need to be and benefiting from that. Okay, so interesting analogy. So thanks, Camilo, for that. All right, so That's kind of what I'm trying to do. And it's also innovation is you being able to dodge future risk. People say ignorance is bliss. And I said this yesterday on the show. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance can actually be miserable because suddenly people get hit with something unexpectedly because they're ignorant and they're like, oh, and then they act like it's not their fault because they didn't go through and do the exercise that was needed in order to stay on top of things and to attain knowledge. So and then is knowledge the root of evil? Not necessarily. Knowledge can help you avert disaster, and to see the road ahead and protect yourself and the ones you love. So this is what this show is all about, is me trying to acquire knowledge on a daily basis and maintaining my discipline about it. So Web 1, was about open protocols, a decentralized and community governed. Most of the value accrued to the edges of the network, users and builders. Okay. And then Web 2, roughly 2005 to 2020. I was just finishing from my master's degree in 2004. So from then, I was kind of floating around. I was in a band for like 10 years and just partied. But, and then, I settled back down and started this show in 2020. But roughly 2005 to 2020 was about siloed, decentralized services run by corporations. So this is the Facebooks, the Apples, the Amazons, all the stuff, the Googles that have developed and that are taking control and, owning you. You say, well, Facebook's free. No, it's not free. You're paying with all your information. Google is not free. You're paying a price. You're paying with your soul. Your soul being all the things that make you are now a bought commodity, and so we are now at the beginning of the Web3 era, which combines the decentralized community-governed ethos of Web 1 with the advanced modern functionality of Web 2. Okay, so this is Web 3, a combination of that decentralization and the community-governed ethos with the advanced functionality of Web 2. So Web 3 is internet owned by builders and users and orchestrated with tokens. As I pointed out with that wallet up there, all my wallets in the corner, that allow me access in a decentralized manner to be able to access a lot of these apps that run on top of Ethereum and on other platforms and that use tokens as their gas. So why does Web3 matter? First, let's look at the problems with centralized platforms. Centralized platforms follow a predictable life cycle. At first, they do everything they can to recruit users and third-party complements like creators, developers, and businesses. Yes, they're like, yes, come in. And I see a lot of liquidity protocol and yield farming protocols like this as well, offering these extremely high APYs to try to lure you in. And then once you get in, then all the instability happens and things are unsustainable. Okay, so centralized platforms follow a predictable life cycle. At first, they do everything they can to recruit users and third-party complements like creators, developers, and businesses. They do this to strengthen their network effect. As platforms move up the adoption S-curve, the power over their users and third parties steadily grows. So it's the Metcalfe effect, I believe, is what it is. And the Metcalfe principle, the Metcalfe's law. Yeah. And, it's like that, the telephones, and you have two telephones connected, but then you add a third one and it exponentially increases the size and the capability of any type of project. So look at Metcalfe's law. So they use this, and that's the network effect. So they use all this recruitment to strengthen that network effect. So the platform moves up in adoption, their power over users and third parties increases. So here, the platform's relationship to users, they attract, and then it grows really quickly. And then over time, it flattens out. And then platform's relationship to complements, developers, creators, and businesses. It's a little slow at first, then it explodes, and then it flattens out at the top. When they hit the top of the S-curve, their relationship with network participants changed from positive sum to zero sum. To continue growing requires extracting data from users and competing with former partners. Examples of this are Microsoft versus Netscape, Google versus Yelp, Facebook versus Zynga, Twitter versus third-party clients, Epic versus Apple. I don't know who Epic is. For third parties, the transition from cooperation to competition feels like a bait and switch. Over time, the best entrepreneurs and developers and investors have learned not to build on top of centralized platforms. This has stifled innovation. They're like, oh yeah, I got burned, or I saw old homeboy over there get burned, by this centralized platform. I'm not building on that. So let's talk about Web3. In Web3, ownership and control is decentralized. Users and builders can own pieces of internet services by owning tokens, non-fungible tokens, both non-fungible and fungible. So fungible is cash. It's that gas. It's the utilitarian token. It's the Ethereum. It's the Bitcoin. NFTs are all this art that you see, the JPEGs, but that have the little hash to them that denotes ownership, right? But it's not just about art. You can tokenize stocks, you can tokenize land, you can tokenize anything and turn it into a NFT, in order to show ownership, to transfer ownership, and anything like that. So tokens give users property rights to own a piece of the internet. So the tokens, NFTs, have become, in a way, the Magna Carta of the internet. It brings in the whole concept of owning digital property, like rightfully owning it, not in the way that Microsoft and Adobe sit there and make you go through all these hoops in order to download software on a DVD or what. I don't know, but the NFT owners give the ability to own objects, which can be art, photos, code, music, text, game objects, credentials, governance rights, access passes, and whatever else people dream up next. So there's a lot of companies being formed around this too. There's one called Eureka, that's Ureeka, which allows not only people to own and to help people own these digital property rights, but also to enforce them. So they go out there and they have teams that scour the internet and bots and things like that to look for possible duplicates. So it's interesting to protect the artists in that way. So NFT exists on top of blockchains like Ethereum. Ethereum is a decentralized global computer that is owned and operated by its users. So nobody owns Ethereum, even though people have tried to claim otherwise, that there's the Ethereum community at the top and that Vitalik is like some kind of dictator. And it's not true. Do your homework on it. Like, seriously. Blockchains are special computers that anyone can access, but no one owns. Ethereum is powered by a fungible token, ETH, which is used to incentivize the physical computers that underlie the system. ETH is also the system's native currency for transactions like NFT purchases. Although ETH can be really expensive right now, and right now it is very expensive. You don't see me playing too much around Layer 1 Ethereum. They have built Layer 2s on top of them with their own NFTs and their own DeFi platforms and all that stuff. And then you just have to do that one-time transfer from Layer 1 to Layer 2 and pay for that. But kind of staking and DeFi platforms and stuff like that can be pretty expensive on Ethereum. And ETH 2.0 is coming to fix that. But in the meantime, there's all these Layer 2 platforms. And I don't think Layer 2 platforms are going to go away after ETH 2.0 is here. I think ETH 1.0 is going to be kind of the settlement layer. That's going to be where the big dogs play, the whales, the institutions, and stuff like that. You and me will be on Layer 2, the everyman layer. But there are many ways for users to acquire fungible and non-fungible tokens. You can buy them, but you can also earn them. And yes, I've been earning them through DAOs. And I wanted to talk about this today, but I'm running out of time. But I'll talk about it tomorrow. My bank, the DAO I'm a part of, Bankless DAO, made the Decrypt news outlet, and we just had our season 2 kickoff yesterday, and I'll talk about this tomorrow and what DAOs are and why they're important and stuff like that. So where was I? Okay, at this article. So DAOs are a big part of this, and you can earn crypto very easily through DAOs. And a lot of people have been quitting their centralized, top-down structured day jobs to go join DAOs. And I'm seriously considering it too. Uniswap famously retroactively airdropped 15% of its governance tokens to early users of the protocol. I was the recipient of that because I was an early user of Uniswap. Community grants like this have become common in Web3 as a way to build goodwill and incentivize adoption. I've not only gotten Uniswap's airdrop, I've gotten airdrops from several other projects and nascent projects that have been coming up that need people and need to build community, and they need people to test out their products. And so this is part of what I'm doing, trying to keep up on all this stuff. So I've been able to be the recipient of surprise airdrops. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I just got like an extra $1,000 or $400 or whatever in my wallet out of nowhere, just because of the fact that I used their protocol, maybe have provided some feedback or whatever, and they're trying to build community. So So you can also earn tokens through creative and entrepreneurial activities. For example, people are earning roughly $100 million worth of ETH per day selling NFTs. That is true. And if you're an artist and you want to create NFTs, yes, it's a great way to do things right now. And I've been sitting here contributing my audio-visual knowledge and talent and stuff like that to the Bankless DAO and to the Meta Game Hub DAO and stuff like that, interviewing people, allowing them a platform to express themselves. And some people have shared some tokens with me. That's not why I did it, but I'll be like, hey, yeah, man, I'll take it. A tip on that, and it's not. It's all been a surprise. I'm not sitting there saying that I'm like taking tokens to talk about things. That's not true. If you look at my guests, you'll see that's not the case. But it's just interesting that the opportunities that can arrive through all this if you just get yourself out there. So tokens align participants to work together toward a common goal. Exactly, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. The growth of the network and the appreciation of the token. So if I'm sitting here interviewing with somebody or I talk about some project, it's all about working towards a common goal, which is the growth of the network and the appreciation of the token and the growth of this Web3 space that I'm so enthusiastic about. So this fixes the core problem of centralized network, where value is accumulated by one company and the company ends up fighting its own users and partners. I've been working for my company right now, bless my company. It's an amazing company and I love it, but it's centralized and top down. And, I've never really asked for a raise, but I've gotten the standard, inflation raise every single year. But it's peanuts to what I've been able to accomplish through DAOs and through the crypto space. It's kind of why I'm really considering about moving full-time into crypto if possible. But I do have, a family I need to take care of. I have a mortgage. I have a lot of bills, and just kind of going out on a limb and jumping into the crypto space seems a little scary for somebody my age, But if you're in your 20s, 30s, maybe just have a wife, no kids or whatever, I'd be all about it, dude. Build up in the crypto space, while you can. So, yeah. Before Web3, builders and users had to choose between the limited functionality of Web 1 or the corporate centralized model of Web 2. Web3 now offers a new way that combines the best aspects of the previous eras. It's very early in this movement and a great time to get involved. So yeah, there's my preaching for the day. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about DAOs. I'm going to talk about the Bankless DAO. I didn't even get to a couple of the other articles. I just get so enthusiastic about this stuff every single day when I jump on here. It's just, there's so much to talk about. There really is. And I cannot urge you enough to try to build. Just take something and take a crappy little bag of Quickcrete under a bridge and start packing it down over a log so you can make a tiny little ramp for you, and then just start going back to that spot every single day, bringing your friends and having fun and creating community together around some crappy little ramps you build. Then eventually everybody else starts building and adding to it. Then it becomes an amazing legendary spot eventually, That's the whole point of this stuff. Just start building and start creating something small and inviting people to participate in your joy and enthusiasm that you get from that. All right. So, all right, man. I've been preaching today. I went to seminary for something, right? I learned to be that preacher. So, all right, man. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. It'll be Sunday. I got my painting for Sunday. All right. Bye.